Okay, so hello again. So after we finish with the introduction of an essay and also the body of essay, now we are going to move to a conclusion. Now, as you know, that the conclusion is quite similar to the introduction because the introduction is general and also the conclusion is general as well. And also you have to bear in mind that the conclusion is very important because this is the last part your reader will read. So that's why we need to make it perfect, right? So how can we write a conclusion? So please, for the conclusion, we have four parts that I want you to remember. So the first part is you need to restate your thesis. Okay. Um so this is the first part. Okay. So first of all, you need to restate your thesis. You mean you need to rewrite your thesis. Okay. So restate the main claim or solution to the problem. So here the solution to the problem is your thesis because basically in a thesis when we write an essay, basically we try to provide a solution to a problem. And the solution is your thesis. This is the first part. Now for the second part, you need to explain the significance of your thesis. Okay? So what is the result of your thesis? What will your result, what will your thesis bring about? What is something that your thesis will bring into existence, for example? So here you need to explain the importance of your thesis and its benefits, right? So here you need to give us the benefits of your thesis. This is number two. Now, concerning number three, you need to suggest a further question or a problem. Okay, so in this one, you need to propose a new question or maybe an issue to explore further, for example, something unknown. It's like a kind of a prediction. For example, something that may happen in the future. It can be a prediction, it can be like a recommendation or maybe some advice or something, right? So it is something that is unseen, right? So you propose it here. So maybe you might it's maybe an opportunity for some people to write about it in the future, for example. In the last part of your conclusion is the following. You need to end it with a memorable element. So here we mean by memorable element, it's like a hook. Okay? In the introduction we start with the hook, but for the conclusion we finish with the hook. So it can be an anecdote or a quotation or a fact that reinforces your main points, right? So this is an example of a conclusion that we have. So we are going to read it and we will try to extract the parts. So what is the first thing? So the first thing is the thesis. So this is the thesis, okay? So in conclusion, this problem of waste management can be effectively addressed by implementing more efficient recycling programs, right? So this is my thesis. Now, what is the second part? The second part is so what? What are the benefits? Okay? Such measures would protect the environment, reduce landfill waste, and conserve resources for future generations, right? So the first part here is your thesis, you restate your thesis, and the second part right here is the benefits of your thesis. Now let's move to part number three. Part number three is now what? Is there something that is not explored yet? Is there something, do we have like a kind of prediction or some further questions? What do we have? Now look at this part. However, recycling is not the only or even the best way to conserve our planet's resources. Further exploration into alternative methods like waste reduction in sustainable production is necessary, right? So here he's talking about something that is not explored yet, right? Or something that is urgent, right? Yeah, so this is the third part. Okay, so he's talking about a further question or something that is needed to be explored in the future. Okay, and the last part here of this conclusion is the hook. So as you can see, he finished with a quotation, right? So the future depends on what we do in the present, right? And this is very powerful one. Okay, so remember we have four parts. So the first part here is you need to restate your thesis. The second part right here, which is the benefits of your thesis, the significance of your thesis, why your thesis is important. And part number three is what is something that is unseen, something that is not explored yet, some further questions, some predictions about the future. Okay, something that is urgent, something that needs to be done, for example. This is part number three. And the last part is the hook, right? So you need to finish with a very powerful and memorable element. Okay, thank you guys.